So for tonight, we are welcoming 4 wonderful photographers from our group 1, and they are Ed Edelson, Claude Heller, Diane Kozlansky, and Jack Heyman. And the way we've laid out the evening, each participant will show their pictures, or will show perhaps one picture at a time, and maybe tell us where the picture was taken, what made them want to choose that image to record on their camera, what problems they may have had in taking it, any questions they would like to ask about the picture, and then if they like, they can invite us to contribute any comments that we may have. I guess we shouldn't comment unless the maker would like to hear from us. I think that's the way it should work.
That's funny.
Okay, you
Well,
ready?
I mean, if you don't want to hear, then there's no point in saying anything.
But
Okay.
Didn't quite share right. Hold on a second. Okay. Who is we're going to do a review contest. Jack first, maybe.
Wait a minute, he's not here.
Yeah, I
so-
know, but that is, you know, it's a random order. So what we'll do is we can always get back to him. There's only 20. Claude.
Okay.
Yes. This was out my front door from the front stoop. Just gotta, every time it rains and the sun comes out, I run out there, and this one was a good rainbow.
yeah, double.
Good
We've
double.
had
Yeah.
quite a few. They've been amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is beautiful.
Yeah, nice lighting.
Who's, is this across the street?
Yes,
You? Oh. No, because I don't recall seeing an orange, the brick is orange. I
yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I probably saturated the color to get the rainbow more.
Okay, I got
I
it.
don't recall.
Hey, or is this as it came from camera?
Is this what?
Is this how it came from camera, or did you crop it in any way?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I saturated the color, but I have no idea if I
Right.
cropped it. This was
Did
a good couple years ago, I think.
Was it the iPhone or DSLR?
DSLR.
Okay. Ed.
Yeah. So we recently got back from a trip to Europe, specifically an Alps tour. And this was taken at about 11,000 feet outside of Zermatt, Switzerland. And you know, I consider myself sort of a nature / landscape photographer. So I love panoramas, and especially since I started doing them on the cell phone, it does such a great job, and it's so easy to do. Anyhow, and so these are just the glaciers surrounding what's called Gorgoroth, Switzerland.
So is Zermatt behind you?
Zermatt is about 5,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 feet below us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you actually have to take a cog railroad to get up to this
Yeah.
point,
Right.
and then
Wow.
and you can hike down or partway down if you want, and we did that.
Is that a zoom lens? I mean, a wide angle lens that you used, or connecting panorama?
It was just you're using the panorama mode on the cell phone.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. Came out good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cell phones can do amazing
What
things.
what iPhone do you, what cell phone do you use?
It's a Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus.
And how
Oh,
many?
that's what I
yeah.
have, Ed.
So how
Okay.
many
Same
photos?
one.
Yeah, how many
Excuse me?
photos? How many
Yeah.
photos did you use?
What do you
Wow.
mean, how many photos?
Well, how many you said, oh, you put it in the panorama mode?
Yeah, in
and it
panorama
just-
mode, it automatically just it does.
Right,
does
so you just
panorama.
had to, okay. You didn't have to like move your
You don't
camera
have
like,
to, you don't have to stitch anything or do anything. It just does it.
Oh,
It's, that's what
okay.
I'm saying. It's so easy and it does such a great job.
You know what makes me smile? In the top left corner, I
Yeah.
believe that is a little tree or a large tree, I'm not
Or a
sure.
rock.
But it looks, my eye reads it as a man
me too.
pulling with all his might on that rock to his left.
I see that too, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a tree because there are no trees up there, but I don't know
Oh.
what, I don't know what it
Maybe it
is.
is a man pulling.
Maybe it's a man tripping.
He was asking for help and you didn't go after him.
Hey, Ed,
Yeah,
I really like it. The only thing I have a very, very slight comment on the lower left-hand corner. Is there any way of getting rid of that?
yeah, I actually, that was part of a wall that I was standing in front of. And I actually cropped it and got rid of most of it, but I didn't want to crop it any further. But yeah, you could clone it out.
Clone it
Yeah.
out in a second, right? Just
Right.
put more rocks.
Yeah.
Yes,
What is
Yeah.
across the way? Is that a road or?
It's
See,
a glacier.
no, I meant, you see the glacier and then there's like the snow and in between the snow, there's like a brown,
Oh, it's just an area that's bare where there's no glacier in that part.
oh,
You mean there's no road in that part?
No, there's no roads up.
No, yeah, that's,
yeah,
Beautiful picture, Ed.
yeah.
Thanks.
it is.
yeah.
If you've never been to Zermatt, it's a place worth going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
and-
beautiful.
It's a really nice little town and, it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all about the mountains and the Matterhorn, it's
Right, yeah,
it's a jumping off place to go to the Matterhorn. And in fact, they've got a little cemetery in the town, which is dedicated to people who have died climbing or trying to climb the Matterhorn.
Wow.
yeah. We were there in August and we went up to the Matterhorn. Yeah. Well, it was about 32 degrees when we got up there with our short sleeve shirts on.
But it is beautiful. We were there a long time ago and I do have the pictures of the Matterhorn outside of our window.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
really nice, yeah.
Well, Jack is back. I'll give him a minute, but let's continue forward. Ed, really beautiful picture.
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, let's
Diane,
give Jack a chance to join us then.
yeah,
Wait a minute,
Oh,
I'm
let's
here.
just wait.
Is
Yeah.
Oh,
Diane,
good. Okay.
is Diane here?
I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Is this your photo?
That's mine.
All right. This was entered into minimalism, right?
Yes, yes.
I would like
I
to get
received a
consensus.
7 on it, so I worked on it a bit.
Yes.
I enhanced some of the color.
Yeah.
The wood that was not destroyed in the fire, I
Right.
gave it a little bit more color because it was a little bit white. I thought that it needed more distinction. So I changed that a bit.
Okay.
I think that was all I did as far as editing.
I have no criticism as far as your technique and your photography. This is an interesting shot. I'd
Mhm.
just like to get a vote. How many people think this is a minimalistic photo?
Oh, are we gonna go there?
yeah,
Yes, I don't.
I don't.
I don't.
No,
no,
Yeah, all right. Kick
Let's
the-
just talk about it on the strengths of what it is.
But to you, Diane, it's minimalism and that's what counts. So I'm not criticizing.
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure.
I think, just briefly, I think there are so many variations of what minimalism means to each person. It was a difficult judgment.
I think I know what you were thinking, that this is the leftover from the fire. So that's minimal of what it was before it caught fire,
Right,
right?
I
right.
do have a question about the picture, though. Getting back to your picture. When you change the color, you have a lot of whites that are way too white now. Were they that way
They were
before?
whiter. It was whiter.
I
All
see.
right, so I gave it more of the wood tone, the bare wood tone.
Well, no, not that one, but you see on the bottom, not, forget
Below the yellow
below, yes, exactly.
and on the top of the yellow, like below the darker building.
Correct.
What did you use for a editing tool?
On my computer.
No, I know, but
I don't know.
what?
I haven't started using any of the programs
But
yet.
what did you use something to get the color in? What did you use?
What did I use? I went into color change and I just enhanced the color.
Oh, so you just went in the photo viewer on your
Right.
computer. And what kind of camera do you have?
This
forgot.
one was on my cell phone. This was not, I
Oh,
have a
cell phone.
Canon, but
Okay.
this was on my cell phone.
Because you also can take your cell phone and edit it on in a lot of different editing tools in the cell phone and can get very similar effects.
What-
You can even get
What can I use?
Photoshop Express.
Right?
Snapseed is another good one.
I-
Yeah,
Alright, I
I don't
have
use
I have
Snapseed that often. I
Snapseed.
use
Yeah, that one
use
I have.
Photoshop
Snapseed.
mostly. Let me look and see my Photoshop. And there's also a Lightroom for your phone. Did you use? You can do you have a iPad or you only work on your?
I have my iPad also.
Because
Probably
on
one of the
the
simplest.
iPad, you can actually get Photoshop on the iPad. Not the same Photoshop, it's an app. So it's not going to cost you like it does on the.
All right, because I intend to work on some Photoshop apps. Bobby had given me some a
That's
book to use.
Elements, that's Elements 13, definitely. put that
Elements.
on because it's so easy that it's really easy to figure out.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's good. I have another, just an observation. Did you crop this in any way? When the
Yes.
judge gave you a 7 and it's obviously stayed a 7, did he make comments?
No, I don't recall it, no.
Oh,
There
okay.
wasn't much of a comment, no.
Okay, because what I would have done was cropped, because what's important is the burnt out building and all the wreckage.
Mhm.
You don't need that piece of sky with the wire going through. Just
And the
crop it all
tree,
away.
yes. I agree with you, Flo.
Right,
I think
And
that would
even
strengthen.
If the bottom here, in my opinion, you could even crop the bottom up to
and not have all that wood.
not have all that white, because the white is really a blowout.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do it. Maybe Bobby and Sandy know how.
Yeah.
There is a way to fix that blowout, but
What I was having trouble with, the more I took out the forefront, the wood that wasn't burned, the darker the burning was, and it was hard to distinguish between what was burned and what was not. That was my problem.
yeah,
I couldn't fix it to the point that I couldn't remove one with making the other so dark.
and I think there's a way, in other words, where you could just pick out, and again, don't ask me how, I just think I know, you can do it. Where you just pick out certain areas and fix just that area.
Right.
Are you talking about like on Photoshop Elements?
Yeah.
Because I haven't used Elements for a very, very long time, but I think you can, but I don't remember how to do it either. I mean, I can do it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
but-
Elements isn't that different from Photoshop. Once you understand the basic tools,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Other ways to
definitely
do it.
should put-
Diane, I was wondering, what did you, I guess you did not take this with your Canon, but with your phone.
Right.
So therefore you didn't really have, it wasn't easy to focus on a specific spot. But what did you perceive as being, where would you want the picture to be sharpest? On the black wreck in the background or on the
The
wood in
black.
the front?
Yeah, the black.
Yes, so everybody, if you look closely, that is not really sharp. Now, I don't know if that's because the phone wasn't able to do it, because you really can't choose very well
Well, it depends on the
where to
phone.
focus with a phone.
It depends
Although
on the
you
phone.
can-
Well, you can on some.
It
photos.
depends on some
Yeah,
of
I
the
guess
more,
so.
Diane,
But you have to
Hello?
know how to do it.
there's a simple way to lower the brightness of the white. It's not 100% effective, but it helps. And it's a slider, and the highlight slider. Just move it all the way to the left to lower the brightness.
Okay.
One
Yeah.
step. And most photo,
Yeah, it's a Pro 13.
most.
That's
you have the iPhone Pro 13.
Yeah, that's the,
So you can do, if you, I just watched a video, it's on Skillshare, which you have to pay to join, but it's a very simple video, lesson, and he gave some good tips, and one of them, I think, on the i13, I have a 13, not the Pro, but if you put your finger on where you want the picture to be focused, it should focus on that. If you're taking your photo, where am I? Over here. So if you take in your finger and you put your finger on that photo, you get your focus point on that area.
Right, yeah, the
Yes.
Galaxy phones do that.
I would go
Galaxy
on
phones do
to,
that too.
yeah, I would go
Yes.
to YouTube and just check out, put that phone in and you should find something on
right,
YouTube
sounds good.
that will help you fine tune, because the iPhone 13 Pro is, it gives excellent pictures. And
I'm
it's just know
also
how,
thinking of, Apple offers a class
Yeah.
on photography, so I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna sign up for that.
Mhm.
That
I'm
would
gonna see if I can get into that.
Because can you agree, Diane, that having that charred wood in tack sharp view for everyone, I think would make this stronger. And then maybe you don't need quite so much. I think somebody else said the same thing. Don't need quite so much of the other wood.
Right.
Cut out the bottom quarter of the
Mhm.
picture, drop there. Just a suggestion, but
Where
something
is
like
it? Where is the building?
This was on Fire Island. There was a home
Oh.
that was devastated.
Oh, because I was gonna say, if you can go back there with your phone,
No.
now that you have the tips. Now
Well-
that you know what to do with your, if you get some tips to
Yeah.
go back to the same site and try it again with the same camera and see
Hold
what
on,
you
you
get.
don't have to go back to Fire Island. There's a house like this within walking distance of Stonebridge. It's another development, Stonebridge something. They're beautiful, quite expensive homes, and this poor thing burned, and it's been there for 2 years. They haven't, I don't know what the hell holdup is.
Hmm.
So you could go to a place like that, not far. If you call me, I'll tell you where it is, and you could check it out.
Right, so my whole problem with this one was enhancing it so that you could distinguish the black. To me, it looked very difficult to distinguish that it was a burnt building.
Well,
That was my
Well, it
problem.
looks very much,
Yeah, but you got the impression. You
Yeah, I
achieved that.
see a lot of detail on your
Yeah.
black. I think
Okay.
that's the good part. What
Yeah,
I think is throwing me off
Is all the other
focus.
wood.
all the other wood.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so bright, our eye goes to the brightest
yeah,
part.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
Right, and I don't see blurry, to be perfectly honest, on my computer.
Yeah, I don't see blurry either.
On my computer, the burnt building is really pretty
Yeah, well,
right on spot.
if I look
Really?
at I see a little blurry. If you look at the white part, in the dark
The
building, the
upper-
white part on the
In the
top
middle.
middle.
In the
And
middle,
if you look at it closely, it's not,
Yeah,
it's not sharp.
right,
And a
we could-
lot,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, if you understand depth of field, and that's on the camera, I know on my iPhone 13, you can adjust the depth of field if you're in portrait mode, but if you're in photo mode, you can't. But what he was saying on the video is that if you use your finger to where you want it to be focused, say you
Yeah.
had a flower and you wanted to focus on that flower and everything blurry in the background,
just touch it. I
you
just
touch the
tried-
flower. But if you want the background to be in focus as well, you would touch the background.
all right,
So
that's
you have
good, I
to play
didn't know
with your
that.
camera. You have to play with the camera and see for you which is the best way to use it.
All right,
I
thanks,
think,
that's
You know
good.
what, guys, this would make a really good workshop.
Right. But it, you know, it's hard because everybody's cell phones
It's
are
a
different.
different phone, that's the whole thing.
As are the cameras. So
Right.
you know what, we know what an aperture is and we know what the speed button is. Everybody has it on their
That's true.
cameras,
That's
but
true.
on
Yeah.
the cell phones, they don't all work the same. The 13 doesn't work the same as the 11, you know, so,
Because I have a 13, but I don't have a Pro.
yeah.
And I have to sort of, you know, look at some videos because I'm not quite sure what it does.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, you know, why don't we go back to Jack before that we missed? Here you go. Jack,
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm here.
want to tell us about this?
Well, I happened to be there was this walking bridge in Prague. And I came over the bridge and looked down, and there was a man in this grassed area painting away. And I was sort of taken by the image there that he was painting. And I thought it was interesting. It was telling a story. There's an artist painting a landscape that he saw, and did catch my interest.
It's a nice image.
yeah.
I wouldn't change anything except that it's a little bit out of focus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I noticed that. When it was enlarged, it was just yeah, I sort of wheeled on my heel and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but good
did-
capture, as you said, it's.
Yeah, it does tell
Tells
the
a
Nice
story.
composition, yeah.
Right.
Tells a
That's
nice
what I
story.
Storytelling.
And
But
if
I
you,
thought,
oh, could we go back there for a second?
no, you
Oh,
don't have to
sure.
go.
If you look at it, the person seems to be in the left third of the frame. So it sort of, you know, and it gives a good breakdown. And the picture itself is sort of like in the mid, not in the middle, but to the right, on the one
Mhm.
third of the frame. So it really fits into the rule of thirds here very nicely.
I,
Yeah,
I thought it was very interesting. You know, he had his palette under his left
Yeah.
hand, and he had paint on his trousers and so on.
Hmm.
Just caught
And
my
he was not aware that you were photographing him.
Absolutely not. No.
How far away were you?
I'd say I was about 40 feet away, and I had a telephoto lens.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, if you zoomed in camera or post. So you use a zoom.
Yeah.
What zoom did you have on?
It was 50 to 200 lens.
Uh-huh. So that's a nice range.
Yeah,
As I say, it just, you know, it happened so quickly, and because I was trying to keep up with our group. And so
That's always the problem when you're on a
Yes.
tour.
Yeah.
that's true.
That's called speed photography.
Right.
They
Definitely
keep
true.
calling your name.
Yes,
have to
we're
hurry up
stopping,
and
we're
check.
stopping for 15 minutes. There are
Right.
15,000 people here and we're in the middle of the afternoon, so get a great shot.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, Sandra.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I forgot, yeah, this one.
Here we go, Claude.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh,
I love
Right.
it.
I don't remember exactly where this was, but it sure is a big bite. That was the title I used.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
funny.
great.
One of those. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things at a fair or something like that. And
Yeah.
I just happened to see this.
I think you get the greatest shots of these country
Yeah.
fairs or
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
neighborhood fairs.
It's
Yeah,
a great capture, beautiful
Yeah.
background, which is
blurred.
nicely
right.
Yeah.
muted and
Mhm.
tack sharp where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I want a bite. That looks
Yeah.
so good.
Looks so delicious.
It looks so good.
That's what's problem with those fairs. You want to eat everything, as my grandson did, and he got sick afterwards. He ate all the junk that he could find for 3 days.
I'll just take the
What
M&Ms
zoom
off
did you
there.
use,
That's it.
Claude?
The only thing I would say, Claude, only because as a picture, I think the composition's great, the focus is great, blurry background, I love. The little patch of red, white in his shirt, which is at
Yeah.
the exact left
Oh,
corner.
yeah. Yeah.
It draws my eye there, so either clone it into red or maybe if you're gonna put it in the contest, because that's something the judge would say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Zoom did you use?
I have no idea.
But that was right out of camera. You didn't do anything to it.
No, I'm sure I put it through Elements. I don't remember exactly what I did. This was probably 10 years ago. So
Oh,
Do you remember whether you cropped it at all?
I probably did. 'Cause
10 years
Couldn't-
ago, you want him to remember from 10 years?
I remember from yesterday.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Actually, it's easier 10 years than it is yesterday.
yeah, sometimes that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Good captions, Claude.
Yeah.
Really nice, Claude. Okay, Lake Lucerne. Ed, I have that same picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's always a
So do I.
deflating comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is another example of a cell phone panorama.
Hmm.
And also the other thing I wanted to say about, I guess my theme today is capabilities of cell phones,
Mhm.
because this was, they also do a wonderful job at night photography.
Yeah.
And this was obviously handheld, and it's pretty sharp, and it actually, yeah, I guess the only thing that it does do is it makes it brighter than it should be. So this
Yeah.
scene was actually darker than it appears in this picture.
Yes, I know what you mean, but you can go in and the phone corrections would
Oh,
allow you to
yeah.
correct, to make this much darker.
Right. There's a lot of ways to.
Well, it looks like Twilight. It's a very enjoyable
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
And
this
do
was.
you also carry a big camera with you? You don't even.
I haven't. I've stopped using my regular camera. I think it's probably been 2 years since the last
Mm.
time I used it. It's just.
Ow.
It's so heavy and so bulky to carry. I've
It's
just.
hard to travel with a camera. It's
Yeah, I mean, the camera is 6
Well-
pounds, and then when you add on lenses or other accessories you want to bring, you're talking about toting around 10 pounds worth of stuff with you.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm researching for an article or a series of articles on tips for mobility limitations for senior photographers. And I've come across some interesting gadgets and an interesting story, but I won't bore everybody here, but Bobby knows it. About my-
I have
record.
one little comment. The tip
Yeah.
of the, was it the castle? I would have cloned that.
Yeah,
Comb
need
that
a
out
little
a
more room, right?
What's that?
What?
The tip of the castle, I forgot what it is. But,
I mean, in the middle.
in the middle, right?
You're saying clone out the whole castle?
No, just the tip. So the tip,
Why?
so
Just the
Because-
cone on top?
it clips it.
Oh, it clips it. You didn't say to clone it out.
Oh,
You said it's clipped to, you mean had more on top than,
so
Or just
more-
go in and,
give it some more air on top, right?
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
you could do that by
Right.
just adding canvas size. It's
Right.
very easy to just add it right there and then.
You can just add sky. It
Right.
works really well if you figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this was Lake Lucerne, and this is an old bridge that goes across. That's a walking bridge that goes across.
I
the
walked it.
lake. Yep.
Yep.
It's really nice. It's got flowers all along the outside of it, and they don't show up very well in the photo. And then it's got all these old paintings on wood
Mm.
that would go back, centuries inside the thing.
Wow.
When I was there, I did the opposite thing. I got up very early and walked down there, so I got the picture,
Okay.
shortly after dawn.
Mm.
Just because when you're on a tour, it's difficult getting a night picture, but
Right.
always get
Oh,
up
yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice place, nice photo.
Okay, Diane,
nice. I like this.
beautiful. This is a shot.
Thank you. This was
I-
on one of the trips that we went on.
Is this in Plainsboro?
in
Preserves?
Plainsboro.
I got the same, I just took a picture of that water stuff the other day. It's in my.
That's the
it
place
still has
on
to be
Scott's
developed.
Corner Road, yeah?
Yes, I was just there on the weekend. That's very good, Diane.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just was very peaceful looking and
Yeah,
we took a lot of nice shots that day.
Mhm.
I hope you submit this.
And
yeah, it's very nice.
this
Thank you.
photo to me is not minimalistic.
No, but he's not,
I agree. It's not minimalism.
Yeah,
We're not doing a minimalism contest.
yeah.
the setup is great. I mean, your eye is beautiful.
Thank you.
I think I would enhance the color or maybe,
Contrast.
yeah, the contrast, right?
Mhm.
It's, some of it is, it's like too bright. I would tone it down a little bit, but it's a beautiful, beautiful shot.
Thank
Yeah, it
you.
is. It's so, I gotta go to my shot and see if it's similar, the same angle. I know I got
Yeah,
those
it's a
two,
really
those
pretty
two
light.
drains in the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
That was a nice peaceful walk that we did.
That was so nice.
Not
that
difficult
day.
at all. And there
Mhm.
wasn't a lot that you would jump out at you and say, wow, I got to get that picture. But if you looked around, you'd find scenes like this and some
Mhm.
others that just come out really nice. And it was just a nice day for a walk
It was
as
a
well.
beautiful day.
Yeah, I'm just asking anybody here, anybody have access to the Facebook Stonebridge Photo Club? You should put these pictures on there. We have a Facebook page for the Stonebridge Photography Club.
Yeah,
And-
Bobby set it up.
You know what,
Bobby
why
set
don't
it
why
up.
don't we stay, Sandy? Let's
Yeah.
stick to discussing each
Well, this would
photo
be
and
nice
maybe
to
we-
put some of these pictures on the, some of these pictures here on the site to share.
All right, well, maybe you give us a little talk about that right at the very end so that
Okay.
we'll know how to do it and where to go.
Yeah.
But I have one comment about this picture. This is a beautiful nature shot. But one thing that detracts from the nature feel are those two man-made pipes that jut
Yeah.
out into the water. And
Oh,
I
thought
just,
that was wood.
No, they're
No,
the pipes, and I took the same
They're
picture.
man-made pipe. All right,
But
I was
listen,
thinking of the same
listen.
thing. I
I
didn't know
just
how to
held
get
up
rid of
my
it.
hand right
Uh,
now. You could crop right above the longer pipe, right just where it meets the water. So you would take out the minimum part. It's still a beautiful, it's a more
But I
beautiful.
couldn't get enough of the reflection. That's what I was having trouble with.
Yeah, I like
But
it the
there's
way it is.
still a
Beautiful,
beautiful
yeah.
reflection.
I like
even
it the
look,
way it is.
Even if you hold it up, you still have a lovely reflection there. It's just unfortunate because it's, as I say, it looks like almost like it's just man-made and.
I
it-
know, I
it
agree. I was
conflicts with
I was
the
trying to get
nature.
rid of it.
But
But
I
every time
I deliberately took the pictures of it. I like them in there.
I like it there. I thought that was just a bark,
Mm-mm.
a down tree that
Yeah.
just laying
Mhm.
there until you said it was a
Until
pipe.
you- Right, it is the man-made pipe.
And I think you would lose the reflection.
That's why I didn't crop it out.
Yeah.
If you hold your hand up over it though, you'll see there's still plenty of lovely
Yeah.
All right, I'm
reflection.
doing that now.
And then you have verticals for the trees and those two horizontal.
And the
pulling
horizontals,
trees.
yeah.
That is a very beautiful composition.
All right, I'm gonna
In my
try it.
opinion, right by itself.
Sounds good.
Yeah, lovely. Good eye, Diane. I keep telling
Yeah.
you that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, Di, while you're doing that, just a hint. If you do Control U or in the adjustments for the color,
Mhm.
play around with the yellow. Move the yellow and it affects the greens, but it affects
Oh,
the
okay.
others too. And it takes some of the slight harshness away. But it's just a different effect. So
All
try
right,
that.
good,
Not the
thank
gr-
you.
Not
I'll
the
try it.
greens, the yellows.
The yellow.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay.
Jack?
Jack,
Yeah,
you're up. Bridal
I'm here.
dance.
Yeah, your picture. Tell us about it.
this one here was, and I don't know, I understand it's somewhat a ritual in Reykjavik. After someone is married, they go outside of the city to these falls. And this gal was, she took off her parka and she's wearing her bridal gown and she was dancing in front of the falls, and I just happened to catch her.
Wow. So this is Reykjavik?
Nice. Wow, that's a good catch.
I mean, you really caught a moment there, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Amazing
that's,
capture.
Well, I got 2 pictures of her like that. I don't know, Bobby, I picked one of them, and I don't know if this was the one I intended to show, but it's still, you know, it was
Good.
symmetrically, it was interesting, and
Yeah.
and the subject was interesting.
And her
Yeah,
hair in the
it's like-
wind, it's
right.
kind of like, I did
It's
it.
like you picked the moment. She's so
Yes.
exuberant
Yeah.
and she's not centered. I like the way you placed her off into the left third.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the mood,
and
the background is
that-
perfect.
as I say, that mist is the falls behind her.
Mhm.
wow.
Great picture.
And that
Very
did,
nice, Jack.
yeah, thank you. I just thought it was interesting.
Ooh.
Oh,
It
good.
is.
That's cute.
Monkey and man, Claude.
Yeah, this was, we had a river cruise on the Amazon. And I know this was 14 years ago. It was, we went on this trip about a month after we moved into Stonebridge. So, it was, it just happened, you know, it was a catch. We were on the boat on the thing, and then they took us out off of the cruise ship boat, and we went out on the like Zodiacs and went by the shore. There was a whole gaggle of monkeys. Most people said, get away, you know. But this guy was good. He loved it. And just the expression, you know, and
His face.
It's great.
Oh, so
love them.
he's,
Great
oh, I
picture.
thought he was the handler of the monkeys. He's
No.
not?
no. He was one of our fellow tourists.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I love the
Actually-
monkey's hand on the hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to
Looks like
steal,
he's
yeah.
gonna grab the hat.
And the other
Yeah.
one's looking right at him. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
cool shot.
More importantly, his looking at the monkey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
the position of his eyes.
Yeah. I'd be surprised too if I had a couple of monkeys on my back.
I've had a butterfly on my head, but a monkey on my head, I'm not so sure about.
Great expression on that guy's face.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I love the top monkey. It's like he's
Oh.
measuring that hat.
Yeah,
He says, I think I'll take this hat for me. I need the sunshade.
but you notice he still has the string under his chin, so
Yeah.
Yes, that's lucky for him. Do you
How
remember
would
what
you-
would you remember what happened afterward? Did they just jump off or did they try to get the hat or what?
I don't remember that, but I do remember that the driver of the boat had a supply of bananas, which surely helped bring the monkeys onto the
Oh.
boat. So
You know, another reason it's a good shot is because it tells a story, you know?
Mhm.
yeah, yep.
That is really good.
Excellent.
I mean, if you had paid that guy, you
Oh.
couldn't have
Right,
gotten
you couldn't
a
have
better.
gotten that good a shot, right?
No, he couldn't.
He would have had to pay the monkeys too. Sorry.
Yeah. The monkeys are cheap. You just give them the banana. And,
Right.
What kind of monkeys are they?
little
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 They don't
gray
look
monkeys.
real.
With the yellow arms, hands.
Yellow, they have yellow fingers.
Yeah.
Little hands and
Yeah.
a blue mouth. They're very colorful.
Wow.
That is just a fabulous capture.
Yeah.
Just,
And you
I
never
would've been
entered this
so
in a
busy
contest?
watching, I would have missed the shot.
Yeah. You never entered this in a contest, Claude?
Oh, I'm sure I did
Oh,
years
okay.
ago. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Ed,
Mm.
Yeah, so you can
The
guess,
Matterhorn.
you can
Yeah,
guess that's
there
one
it
of
is.
mine, right?
Yeah. There it is, the little pointy thing.
Yeah, the Matterhorn. Yeah, so from that previous picture with the glaciers, so we hiked down. So as I mentioned, we took a cog railway all the way to get up there, and then you can sort of hike down as far as you want and then get back on the train at one of the stations. So that's what we did, and this was one of the scenes along the way.
Great. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
this is a beautiful
Wow.
shot, especially the
Yeah.
person on the side giving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's
Gives you
Judy.
dimension. It shows you the vastness of the space.
Yes.
Yeah, really good. And you got a lucky day with all those clouds.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. The Matterhorn tends to be always enshrouded in clouds.
Yeah,
And it was for most of the day when we were there. And you just wait for that one moment when
Yeah.
the clouds separate a little bit and you can get the shot of the whole peak.
Wow.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So
That
this
happened
isn't
to
cropped
me.
at all. You took this in pano mode.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to take everything in panel mode.
Well, when I'm doing landscapes, I do, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
Children at play, Diane.
It's mine.
Nice. Like, where was this?
This was in the Berkshires.
Ah.
They're just,
So the little boy in front, he's just one, or a girl, I guess.
there are two children. Yeah, with
Yeah.
the
Gotten
boys in
into
front
the
of the girl.
water.
They were just splashing around in the water.
Yeah.
It was a cute shot.
That is cute. Excuse me. Nice exposure.
Yeah. Is this your cell phone?
Cell phone.
They take great pictures. I might just put
Yeah.
the camera away. It's a lot
Ah.
easier.
No, I'm still learning how to use that camera, but it just so happens that sometimes I just pull out my phone and I
Well, yeah.
grab a picture.
Yeah.
There's a few things that you can do with a real camera that you can't do with a cell phone, but
Right.
I'd say for better than 90% of the shots you take, the cell phone can do as well as a real camera.
I'm sure. My only suggestion is if you named it Children at Play, that the emphasis of this particular shot is more the scenery than the children at play.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
if you were shooting the children, I would have made it more,
Emphasize, right, like focus more on the
Children.
kids.
Or if you went
You could
lower than.
recrop the
yeah.
whole thing,
Yeah, you
Diane.
could crop that a lot.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could keep
right,
this
you could.
picture and show it as it is, but you could also recrop the picture to give the children a lot more importance. You
All
don't
right.
really need
Because
all that
I could
sky.
crop it where the ropes are in the lake area. I could
Yes,
crop it down up to there
Mhm.
right.
and then enlarge it.
That might
Yeah,
be too
oh.
much.
Well,
Yeah.
I think if you cropped it that much, you'd see that it would start to look pretty soft and
When you-
pixely.
Now,
Both,
was
Also, it wouldn't be that interesting if you just saw the
yeah.
kids in the water
Yeah, no,
without the beautiful
You show this
scenery around it.
photo,
yeah.
Your eye goes right to the children. So the title is appropriate.
Oh, well,
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
problem
That's why
But
I see on the right-hand side, I'm not sure what that is, that pipe, and under that, is that growth?
That's rope. It's a roped off area for
Yeah.
swimming.
Yeah, I may have cut it about there.
Yeah.
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 The only problem with that I find with the cell phone photos that you're only getting 72 DPIs,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. So you
And-
would have trouble enlarging that to an 11 by 14.
Right. I mean, there are programs that will increase, you can put it in to increase the size. I forgot which one. I know during my vacation or after my vacation, I found some program that supposedly said it does it better than other. And I
Well,
don't
there's
remember which one it
also
is.
a one called Manual that you may want to download that gives you some flexibility.
So in other words, you could change,
The dock DPIs from 72 to I wouldn't go to 300, but maybe to 150, you can do it.
but you
Yeah,
can
the-
change, you can
The
change
pho-
that on the
yeah, the
iPhone?
program extrapolates the pixels that are there and copies from them so that it gets likenesses of all its neighboring pixels.
Ah, that's how they do it. That's good to know.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's I'm looking, I have one that does it, image size, it's called image size. On my iPhone. Just called image size,
Image site?
image size,
size.
Oh, image
SIZE.
size. Okay.
Yeah,
Where do you think Diane might want to crop this picture if we wanted more emphasis, if she wanted more emphasis on the children?
I
How's
would
what
crop-
be a-
Less
I would
sky
crop out
then.
most of the sky
Sky.
and about the
Yes,
left
agree.
third of the picture.
The left third.
Yeah.
or the right third? I'm
No,
not sure.
I-
we need,
yeah,
black
I
and
can see
white
that.
Or the
Both.
latter either.
Both right and left.
Yeah,
On
but
the right
that's
side,
a
just
very
enough to cut
weird
just to
side.
cut, on the right side, just to cut the rope out.
Mhm.
The left side, you could take almost half of that
Some of the
space out.
trees out. Yeah.
And what
And
about the
as-
little, the right in front, the sand and the little blue thing, and like
Yes,
that's
that could
diagonally
go too.
or
Right,
drawn out?
that's a
and
distractor.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it takes
Yeah.
away,
Doesn't add anything to,
no.
it doesn't add to the story.
Okay,
Just
so
clone
crop
that.
it.
She could just clone that out with this stuff,
Mhm.
Mhm.
with that little bit of water right in the
Oh,
Right.
front.
sure.
Never
Yeah, yeah.
knows.
But
Okay.
it,
So,
yeah,
yeah, that would be
All
your
right, I'm gonna
choice,
work on
clone
that.
or crop that little
Right.
bit. And I would, I like to, I could see, I would take out the whole sky. And I don't even care for the little concrete and the little ladder in. To me, that takes away from the charm and the story. I would just
But
crop that out and crop the sky out and,
I have a question. If she does all that cropping and you want to print it, it's a very weird size.
Right.
Well,
And
you
we
could
have
still-
trouble with that.
I mean,
It becomes
all-
very strange.
all my pictures are weird size, but I mean, you can print them. You just have to.
have
Well,
a custom frame.
sometimes, no, that's not always so. I think Bobby had the same issue. It was cropped into a certain number and you didn't stay within the guidelines of 11 by 14.
So,
You had to print it at 11 by 17, or, you had to pick a print size that the picture would show up.
Flo, let me say, if you look back in history, the masters would crop according to what was the best for the photo. They didn't
Exactly.
crop according to what was available, although we all do that today.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying, Harvey, is that I crop according to the photo. But then when I have to print it, let's say you got picked, you got first, second, third, whatever, and you had to print it, I end up having a terrible, I can't get
Mhm.
the picture in the standard size.
Right.
you don't need to, you can get a mat that's custom made. I've done that. I have a place
Yeah,
that.
you do,
Well,
if you have an
likes to
opportunity to do that.
cuts the- Yeah,
we.
Yeah, I
we
have a mat cut. I have a mat cutter. I cut the mats
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, I
I
have
can-
a mat
so I can
cutter
make
and
the
the art
pictures in-
room.
I can
The
make
art
the
room
pictures.
has one, yeah.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is that when you crop, unless you have a mat cutter or you have the access to have a custom print, a custom mat, you end up with an issue. Like I said, it's just something to consider. You end up with an issue of not being able to print it within the standard size. I'm not.
yeah, but
Okay,
Yeah.
Flo,
But
that's
yeah.
true, yeah, but we.
even
should be
Michaels will
looking
cut a frame,
what
a mat for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a mat cut at any size you want.
And I
Yeah.
have a suggestion. Would
Yeah.
you care to, how about the two of us giving a demo on
Yeah.
mat cutting?
Good idea.
Right.
Not me.
You have a cutter, I have a cutter, and there's one in the art room. We have our pick.
And
And
I
it's
there's,
have
not,
one.
not difficult.
and there's also a YouTube video on cutting it, and it's in
Yes.
our files.
We did that once. Didn't you and Mario have a video
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
of?
Well, we
mat
could do
what
it
I'm-
again.
That's
Well,
what I'm
maybe
saying.
We should do it again.
Yeah.
Because
And
that
then
would
we
answer
don't
the-
have to do it again if you play the YouTube. It shows you the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, there's nothing like doing it hands-on. You're right, I agree.
Okay.
I love videos. But since we have the equipment and it's easy to come by, I think that might be a nice thing to
Yeah,
do.
that's a good, we'll write it down for the next board meeting. We'll add mat
Yeah.
cutting.
But
Do a
that's something you
workshop.
have to do in person.
Right.
Yes, well,
as-
that's true.
You have to be willing to do it in person.
We
Yeah.
could wear masks. Anybody who wants to mask could do it. I would wear a mask.
I would
Yeah.
wear, I would go.
Yeah,
But as far as printing is concerned, can't you select an 11 by 14 canvas and put whatever picture you want to on top of that, regardless of sizes. So you'll be printing that canvas, assuming you use a white canvas, and that canvas will be printed. And when you get the print back, it'll be white around the thing. I think you can do that.
Yeah, that's
You
still.
You could, I have done that, yes.
It's
Okay,
a
so
large,
that-
it's a large border on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could even do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rich,
Printed
didn't you
one,
give-
remember?
Didn't Rich give a lesson
recently.
in of making your own? I remember you called it faux.
Faux.
Oh, faux.
Oh, yeah, you.
Oh, Matt,
Oh,
right.
it's a faux
Right.
panorama.
That was
Yeah, I did
Rich.
that
Oh, and the faux mats too.
Yeah.
You could
You
do
could,
that.
Yeah.
yeah, or you could, like even if I wanted to do a 4x6 and I only have a 8x11, paper, I can make my 4x6 on the 8x11 paper. Now I
Yeah.
either, right,
Right.
And
Rich, you
with
should
a
give a
nice
lesson on
border
that.
around it,
That was
yes.
great.
or cut it,
Sure.
or you cut it to the size that you want it, the same way.
Well, yeah, but we don't all print ourselves. So I
No.
send mine out. So
Mhm.
you're saying
Yeah.
Elko can print a picture with a border. Now, I never noticed that you could do that, but I'll have to look at it. In other words, they could put a border around the picture to make it into whatever size mat I need.
So it's probably like an additional mat then, wouldn't it?
No, they print it. In other words, when I get the print, they're saying I would have a border. Let's say I had an 8x10 picture and it wouldn't fit into an 11x14. I'm
Right.
making up the numbers, but they could put a mat, a white border around the 8x10 to make it fit to whatever.
It's a way of, but there's a way in, like I know in Photoshop, there's a way of doing that. You make your
Yeah.
canvas a certain size and then you put your picture in and then you can
Yeah.
actually do a double, almost like a double mat.
A double
within-
mat.
Yeah, I remember
within-
Rich gave a great workshop on that topic.
Rich,
Yeah, I did, I've
remember-
done that. I've
I
done that.
only did it once and I don't remember how
But
to,
I don't remember how to do it either. I'd have to go back to, looking at the
notes,
same
right.
videos.
but it came out, you're right, Rich, it really came
Everybody,
out very
Rich
good.
has the answer. I'm telling you. He gave a lesson in that. It was
Mhm.
beautiful. And you
It's
could do it
true.
yourself.
Okay, move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
Serenity, Jack.
One other thing,
Why do you do that, Flo?
you can probably buy all the equipment you need to do mat cutting for probably about the same cost or almost the same as it would cost you to have one mat
Yeah.
custom made.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah.
I have one, except I can never figure out the numbers.
My mat, the mat that I bought a mat, a 16x20 with a specific opening. It was like $23. That was just.
Yeah,
for the
well,
one.
it gets expensive.
I know.
If you have to keep printing, but I
Yeah.
do have a mat cutter. I can't, I'm just never that accurate. It doesn't come out right.
I think the club had or still has
We
a mat
still
cutter.
have it. It's in the.
I have two
Okay.
mat cutters.
I have a T,
Yeah.
a T-shaped thing that you use to place it.
Right.
I have all the stuff. I just have to find it. That's another issue.
I
but
know
do
where
have
mine
it
is,
all.
but I can't. Anyhow, I think your idea of having maybe an in-person workshop, that would be great. And, somebody could show us specifically how,
Sure.
but move on.
Just
Jack?
one last thing on there. You're talking about cutting all different size mats. Just remember too, you have to put it into a frame, and frames are pretty standard size.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to cut yourself a new frame.
No, but you make the,
Dimension.
if it's the picture is a smaller unusual size, you make the mat to the next, whatever frame size you want. it.
Or you
Right.
make the
Make the-
image, I think Rich or somebody a few years ago, or Mario, did on making a mat on Photoshop.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Matt.
what I've been trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rich
that
has the
is-
answer, everybody.
Thing is if you can make the mat any size, the picture fit into your 16x20 mat, whatever the opening is, that would change. It would still fit into the 16 by 20. And I'm
That's
only referring to hanging the pictures in the lobby. In your house, you could do whatever you want to do, whatever frame you have available.
Or you can have a frame custom made to whatever size you want.
Or if you want to spend $300, you could have a custom made frame. You're absolutely right, Sam. Not everybody has that kind of money.
If the picture's worth a lot to yourself, you know, you can do it.
I suppose you can do anything. Of course you can. Jack,
Yeah, I'm here.
your picture.
Right. Well, this one was a very difficult one because I tried to get the sharpness of the place. It was early morning. The mist was rising off the water somewhat, but I wanted the reflection, and I wanted it, I guess, framed in these branches and all that. And I thought I got a fairly decent composition. And on top of the fact I was running again behind the group that was moving on.
Yeah.
But
Jack, where's Jack?
that was in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like a China picture from China.
Yes.
I think the composition is beautiful.
Mhm.
I think it's if you had planned it, rather than just coming across it. I like the block of a tree on the top left, on the bottom left, and then balancing that is the large shrub in the middle of the right-hand side. And then,
Yeah.
of course, there's a reflection of the other. And the way those branches come in, to me, it just,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, you know, it was just spur of the moment. We were walking down this path and they went ahead of me and I'm taking pictures, and I quickly took this one and tried to catch up with everyone. I finally managed to each time, but
Well, I hear Jack continually saying that he was running to catch up, and he manages to find that moment and that wonderful what am I trying to say? Construction. That's not what I mean. The wonderful
Composition.
composition. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just you have a natural gift.
well, you know, I saw something with my eye and it captured my interest and click, you know.
It looks like
Terrific.
on the upper right-hand corner, there's a nest or something. My eye seems to always go
Yeah.
there. If that
I
can be
don't know
pulled down.
what it
Yeah, clone that out, yeah.
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 Yeah, that would. And one other thing I would say, that little red flower
Yes,
at the
on the
very
bottom.
bottom.
On the
That,
bottom,
those are
yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
little clones that you could do easily.
Mhm.
Any one of us could show you how.
Yeah.
But to me, this picture, I would be so pleased with myself if I had caught this picture.
Yeah.
So hats off to you.
Well, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna be the ugly one here. I like framing around the outside, but the branches, the thin branches, just to me are a distraction, especially the ones that go over the front of the building. I know from where you're standing, you couldn't get closer to get under it.
No,
I mean, you
And
didn't have a clipper, you could have cut off that whole thing.
yeah,
Well,
and
I tried,
cloning
Rick,
them
but-
out would
Chinese
be,
government
Or would be
love
carrying
that.
a clipper in his bag.
Maybe the
kept on
guy
getting my
would have
feet
had
wet.
one.
and trying to clone them out would be too massive a job.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you didn't have the thin branches all through it, it would be just a beautiful shot. It is
Isn't that
still a beautiful
interesting?
shot, but it just,
And to me,
in
it
my eye, I
enhances.
don't
Yeah.
like them.
To
Well,
me, I
you know,
find it
this-
enhancing, not distracting.
Well, you have
Eye
branches
of the beholder.
in the water, in the reflection of the tree on the right, in the like 1/3. There is that people in a boat. I see blue figures. It looks like there may be a boat there
Yeah,
with people.
Yeah,
So I find that the tree in front of those people it does distract because you really can't see what they are. So, but again, you can't move.
no, I
branch
think
in front
that's,
of
I think that might be a lantern. I'm not sure.
a lantern, but it looks like two blue things with like
I don't
maybe
know.
there are people on a
But
boat.
they could distract, yeah.
Yeah.
But once again, you know, the instant moment that you see something like that.
Right.
Yes.
and
No, you
you-
can't right.
and you can't get around it.
No,
Jack, I always describe that, I say, when my teeth tingle, I know that's the shot. And that, to me, that's what this, to me, it's like, this is a very private, hidden place. And you're just given the privilege of peeping through those branches for a moment to see what's there. That's,
Well, I named it Serenity, if you remember.
Yeah.
And,
I wish you would have included the audio track of the rest of the people on your tour cursing at you.
You know, you talk about that, Rich. I had my worst critic is my wife. Don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
think you can keep up with the group? You
yeah,
know,
sounds like my husband.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I always managed to be on the bus on time or the boat, wherever we were.
So, see, if they say be back on the bus at 10 minutes after 1, I back on the bus at 10 minutes after 1, not 1:09, not 1:11. And Jean says if it's 1:10, she likes to be back, 10 minutes ahead of time, but
Uh-huh.
I don't want to miss those photo shots.
not me, not me. I'm with you, Claude.
That's why it's good to go on a photo trip,
But
but yeah, I've
you
seen
know-
pictures of people, the same places I've been, and though, because they were on a trip specifically to take photos and,
Right,
and you're going out at the best time of the day, there's no other people there,
Mhm.
and you're getting the best shots. So, you
Yeah.
make our choices.
I
Do
take
we want to
Rich's,
travel with our spouse, or do we want to travel alone with strangers and get the best shots?
Sometimes
Exactly.
you don't have a
you
choice.
know, Rich, your
Right.
point is very well taken. And I thought about that and I said, well, how the hell do you get rid of that? These branches here. So it was a problem.
Oh, I'm
Well,
saying you
again-
couldn't do it, but
Yeah.
it's still a beautiful shot. But
At
Yeah,
least
I like
one
the
of us
branches. I think it's
appreciates that.
beautiful.
So it's not anyway, enough said.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Claude,
Yes.
Mm.
That's
Oh, nice
This
shot.
this is an old picture. This is a film picture.
Hmm.
Oh,
Bill,
Wow,
wow.
showing your age.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, no problem on that. It's around the Delaware Water Gap. Just
Mm.
on the New Jersey side, there's a road goes parallel to the river, and there's a lot of interesting photo things on that road. So it's just a barn and a reflection. Yeah.
The red barn, which is great.
Red
Like,
Very
Yeah.
serene, yes.
especially on a cloudy day, because it really makes
Yeah.
that day pop.
and look, you can even get the little ripples in the water in the
Yes.
reflection. Really neat.
Shimmering,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had your film scanned so that you could use it, bring it into the computer?
Yeah. At one point, Costco was offering, if you got your film developed, they would do a CD of them all.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. So
Those were the days, my friend.
And I don't even have a CD reader.
Are there any of
We're still-
the Costco's that are still doing the wraparound prints and all that?
Probably by
it's-
mail order.
mail order, yeah,
Only mail order, huh?
yeah.
Because, okay. Yep. Thank you.
very nice, Claude. Really, really great depth.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
serene,
What?
also serene,
Yeah.
A lot of detail.
calming. That's the kind of
Mm,
picture that
yeah.
you.
Okay, Ed.
Yeah, so this
Beautiful.
is Mirabelle Gardens in Salzburg. And it's another example of a cell phone night shot. Now this was about 9 o'clock at night and it was dark. And darker, way darker than it looks in this picture. And if I were using my regular camera, I would have been on a tripod and it would have been a multi-seconds exposure.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing what a cell phone can do.
It is.
You can get also the phone nowadays. I think I have slow. What do I have on my phone? There's a way to do it on the camera. To make
Well,
it.
Ed has an Android, not an
okay.
Apple.
Okay.
But you can use the post-processing software that comes with the phone. If you wanted to darken this a
Oh,
bit, you
right.
could.
Yeah, I know.
Slow-mo, yeah, I have a slow-mo
Mhm.
or.
And it
a time
allows
lapse
you to
on mine.
darken, let's say, just the white, just say, if you
Right.
wanted that. Or the red, or lighten,
Or
whatever.
or the sky.
But
Yeah.
the color
Yes.
is so beautiful.
They're beautiful.
It is.
I like it like this. It may not be accurate, but it's really
Yeah.
nice. The only thing I would change, you got way too much ground and foreground,
Right.
but it's a beautiful.
You also have a hot spot there on the right.
Oh, the light, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just filter that, tone that down a little.
Right.
Yes,
So I'm not so sure that this would print up that well
Yeah.
as it looks on there. Because if you look closer, you can see it's not sharp.
Right.
Hmm.
I'll bet that's a combination of a very, very wide open lens and
Yeah,
a
probably
very,
a little-
very slow speed.
Right, a little motion blur.
Emotion blur. But
Yeah.
it's
that is true.
beautiful for
Yeah.
digital.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
they're not
enjoying it. It's
considering
just a
printing.
relaxing, nice shot.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I guess what I want to ask you, when you print out your photos from your trips, what size are you printing them out at and how do they look?
I print them I'll print them at any size because I can cut mats myself.
No, I'm
So,
not worried about the mats, but like how well
oh,
does,
I've printed up to like 16 by 20,
From
even.
your phone?
You have a
From your
big
phone.
printer?
I have, I have a panorama that I have hanging in my loft. It's about 4 feet wide. It was a cell phone panorama, and then I did a metal print on it.
Wow, I thought it wouldn't print that big.
Oh yeah,
And what about clarity? How do you get it so clear to print it that wide?
well, I mean, if you start, if you've got a good quality cell phone camera, you can get good quality prints out of it.
Mhm.
Even though you're enlarging it that
Yeah,
big?
yeah. In fact, a number of the photos that I've had that have won, awards in the competitions have been cell phone photos that I've printed up to 11 by 14.
So it will also depend on time of day. It's shot like a
Oh,
bright
yeah.
outdoor shot
Sure.
that may be shot at f/22 or f/16 will be sharper and,
course.
and shot at a speed as opposed to a dark
Right.
or indoor shot.
Hmm.
That affects it too.
Yeah, that's true. So you're saying because this was dark out and it's a little fuzzy in the, in the background, it won't print that big.
Right.
I was looking in the foreground, the two people walking.
Mm.
Right. Well, there you
Oh,
definitely got
yeah.
motion blur because they're moving.
Yeah, a little bit because they're moving, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
So beautiful, beautiful color.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Beautiful color.
And just for your information, because I've used it very recently, in the native software of the Android, you can erase that bright distractor on the right side.
Oh,
You
really?
just draw a ring around it with your finger, and then it
Hmm.
extrapolates from what's around it to fill
Really?
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to look.
Yeah.
And that's just within the camera software?
Yes.
Oh.
So it's under the camera settings or something like that?
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what, give me a call one day and we'll,
Okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
I gotta look for that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should.
You don't have an
Lions,
Android,
lily
do you?
pads.
This one you had,
Okay. That
Mhm.
one, this one I fixed.
what did you do?
There were
Oh.
too many lily pads and there wasn't a focus on the flower. So I cropped out the
More of the lily
pads
pads, right.
and to leave the flower on the right-hand side.
Okay. Oh, you had more
It was
A
more
lit-
in the
on
center.
the, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Right.
very
Yeah, I thought it
nice.
looked different. That's a good idea.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I moved it from the center to the side and then I enlarged the lily pads.
Yeah, nice composition.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
un-
Now, again,
Absolutely.
is,
The
how
only
is this?
thing, the only thing is the white is oversaturated. It's blown out.
A little hot, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
How
an
do you
easy
fix
one
that?
too. Go to that in Photoshop, go to that white slider
Mhm.
and move it over, highlights
move it
and,
over?
and white, and it'll darken it up.
Okay.
Now, again, is this a iPhone or your other camera?
This was also my iPhone.
Well, the reason so many of us are using these iPhones is it's the old thing. What is the best camera? Is it Nikon? Is it Olympus? Is it Canon? No, the best camera is
Is
the
what you
one
have
you
with
have
you.
with you.
When you
And
have it
we-
with
you
you,
have
that's,
and we
that's
always
the
have
whole
them,
thing.
Your phone.
Okay, gang,
That's it?
hold on, let's see. Oh, Jack,
Oh,
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 that's beautiful.
that's 17 out of 20. We still have 3 left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy again was one that I caught in Africa.
Mm.
He was believe it or not, he had just stolen something off of our balcony.
You look so
Yeah.
innocent.
I was
Yeah.
admonishing him.
his camera.
Who, me?
No, not the camera. It was a piece, it was a piece of fruit that I had set out there.
Oh,
And,
Oh,
well, then he didn't steal it. If
I
you
had
set
no
it out
intention
there,
of eating it.
You were
But,
enticing him to come over.
right?
He just sort of looked at me and to us, and then he looked to Estelle and I said, "I got you."
yeah.
oh,
But,
that,
detail on this guy was good.
Yeah.
They're
I
beautiful
just,
exposure.
I like his eyes.
It's
oh,
Yeah.
those
Yeah, that's-
eyes, my gosh.
And because even though the color is not that dissimilar, between the monkey and the background, you have the background blurred and it's
Yeah.
a bit darker, so it really makes it
Yeah,
him
this
stand
was,
out.
Yeah. I would just
Oh.
clone out those couple of hairs in front of his eye.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I see
that's
that.
true. You could
Oh,
do
I
that.
didn't
didn't-
even
yeah.
notice
I never-
that. Yeah.
You had to catch me on that. Okay. Forgot about it.
Yeah, a judge would.
I know he would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
those eyes, the whole picture is
Yeah.
this A, the simplicity, and B, those eyes.
Mhm.
Even though
Right.
they're brown in the brown face, you go right to them. Must be the
Yeah.
catch lights.
Yeah.
Anybody
Well,
bothered by the little white spot next to his head?
A little
Yeah, I
bit.
would tone
Yeah.
that down a bit.
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
even
Oh, really?
notice that till you
Yeah.
pointed
Oh,
it
yeah.
I would
out.
have toned
You
that down a bit.
pointed it out. I didn't even, I was so
No.
busy looking at his
The
face.
eye
Right,
is-
we were so captivated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
you
judge,
could
judge
clone.
would definitely focus on that.
Yes. Oh, isn't that funny?
You think I
That's
ought
two
to
of us.
take and
that did
Yeah, I
Photoshop that
started.
out?
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
That's an easy clone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Or
two
just
hairs,
even,
the two hairs are not that easy.
yeah. It's not
Yes,
even,
they
you don't
are.
even need a clone.
They
You just
are
need
easy.
a burn, the burn.
know,
Really, there's nothing
That's the
to
other
do
point.
cloning
How
now.
do you clone that out?
Yeah.
You clone it with a very tiny little brush. You zoom in, zoom right in, use a small brush.
Uh-huh.
It's 1, 2, 3.
Like a
Yes, very
pinhead.
easy.
A pinhead.
Yeah,
All right. I have
either
a
that or I'll
question,
give
though.
you a tweezer, Jack.
Why is it so, why is it so important to take that out? That's the way it was.
Yeah.
Why would that be criticized?
Well,
Because
you're
your
right,
eye.
you're right,
Go ahead.
Diane, that's true.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I snap what I see with my naked
Right.
eye.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't ask him to brush the hair out of his eyes. I mean,
Diane, you're so right. Why are we
Yeah.
so,
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
because-
that's the way the
Well,
monkey was. I,
because we've
been-
I don't see
you know,
why it
Diane,
has
we're
to be
looking-
cloned out.
We've been
Hey, we're
trained
looking
by
for
our
perfection.
judges.
That's
Yeah.
right. And not
Maybe
everything
we
they
should train
tell
the
us.
judges.
Is Harvey still
Uh,
here? Did Harvey click off?
Mary?
Yes,
Yeah.
Harvey?
look up on
Yeah,
top.
oh, okay. So Harvey, wouldn't you agree that it would not be necessary to take out those hair
No,
that are sticking over the eye?
no, I don't think it's necessary at all.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what a monkey is. Yeah.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
thing I would do is that little white spot to the
Mm.
left of
All
him.
right,
That's
okay.
right.
But what I would have done, but I don't know, Jack, if you had the time or if it was just a snap and you left, because if this monkey looked a little, you see where the light's coming from? It's coming
Yes.
from the right side of his.
Yeah,
or the
over
other
there,
side.
yeah.
If his head was turned a little bit more over that way, you could have filled his face with a little bit more light. And I think
Well,
that would have made it a better.
Problem, you're dealing with a wild animal.
Right.
and
Yeah.
Unpredictable.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know that, Javi. I know you've done a lot of professional work and
No,
So-
I'm just saying, you probably
Yeah.
didn't have time, you just snapped it.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's not like a child. You could say, look this way, honey.
yeah.
Yeah, here he is,
Yeah.
and,
But
To me,
no,
his face
Javi,
is a little bit.
Javi, I know what you're driving at, Javi, and I again appreciate it, but I just don't know. Well,
It is what it is.
Yes.
Claude?
Yeah. Again,
Uh,
this is an early morning picture. This is in Australia. It was by Ayers Rock, which now has some indigenous name, which I don't know what it is.
So
But
Uru,
again, yeah, again, I usually get up very early on these trips and you have some time to yourself. And the sunrise was great that day.
So you're lying about the title.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was sunrise. Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I don't know, one or the other.
hey, God,
That's a
didn't they
good
get you up
bet.
at 5 o'clock every morning? Huh?
Claude, all you have to do is check the metadata and it'll tell, oh, well, if this-
Oh.
you took it with film, you wouldn't have metadata.
Assuming that I had changed the time zone in the camera.
Oh,
Mm.
that's true.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
a
it was the
wonderful
morning.
shot.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It
doesn't
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Beautiful
It
shot.
is.
Didn't you enter this in something recently? Or is that something else?
No, I don't remember seeing this.
Mm.
I would guess I did enter it at some point, but might have been 5-7 years ago or something.
Oh, I wouldn't
Mhm.
remember from then.
No, I wouldn't. I like the way the light is glowing through
Yeah,
right near the
Great.
bottom, that little round space, oval space, and it's
Mhm.
somehow it's sort of bursting through there.
Mhm.
Enter it in the intercommunity contest.
no,
It's interesting.
Don't,
would
that-
agree.
don't you have to be recent for the anti-community?
I think
No,
they
there's
removed
no
that.
Time limit.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
no.
time,
No
there's
more
no
time
time.
limit.
Oh, okay.
I think I sent an email about it.
But it's
Yeah, you
possible
did.
and I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm, Beautiful.
Ed?
Oh, wow. We're back at the Matterhorn. Nice.
right.
Now we're back at
Yeah,
the
just,
Matterhorn.
this is just a different view of the Gornergrat Glacier, looking at a slightly different direction.
I'm gonna make one comment. This looks.
I,
like
I know what
part
you're
of-
gonna, I know what you're gonna say.
Get rid of the
I
photographer.
meant to clone this guy
What's
out
on
on
the
the
left?
left. and I
All
forgot to do it.
Looks like he's swinging a golf club.
It looks like
Right,
a golf
That's what I
club,
thought it
right?
was.
I think it's a selfie stick.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He's taking a selfie with the scene behind, in front of him.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth, that I don't know why, but that doesn't bother me. It gives what is it when they say you should show scale?
Perspective
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
But if you see more of him, you know, you don't really see enough of him.
Yeah,
to
all
make
you
it
see is his
effective.
foot and
And
the.
his hands,
the
yeah.
stick.
Well, that's enough to show you what his size is.
I find it
I'm
really
not bothered by
distracting.
that.
But I think I like, somehow the other shot, I think is a much better shot.
Because
Yeah, I like
Now
it.
this-
The other one's more expansive. It shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know, but I'm not.
I like this one. I think the detail is very good on this one.
It
Yeah.
is, the rock formation.
Ed, I got
Yeah.
a question. Is this front brown mountain, is that a glacier of ice?
no, it's rock.
That's stone.
Mm.
It's right. Why do they call it a glacier?
Well, it's
background
not a
is all
glacier. The part on the right are glaciers.
But the
Ed-
subject is not a glacier then,
Right, right.
but you're calling it a glacier. Gotcha. Okay,
It's a-
Well,
it's
maybe
a
it should be a
photo that
view of the
includes
glacier.
Gornergrat Glacier.
all right, I understand.
And this is the phone or your camera?
Phone,
You didn't even take your camera with you, did you?
I didn't.
No,
Mm.
that's, he said that before. This is
Right.
on his phone. It's mind boggling. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out the next time we go shoot something. I'm just gonna use my phone.
I just spent too much money on my equipment. I'm keeping my phone in my head.
Yeah.
All right, Ed, true disclosure, was there any time on that trip when you wish you had your camera?
Ah,
I can't, at the moment, I can't think of an instance.
Wow, okay.
I mean, you know, the one thing that, you know, thinking of nature and landscape photography, the one thing where you really need a real camera rather than a cell phone are like water and waterfalls. When you want to get that nice sort of satiny feeling to the water, and you
Mhm.
can't do that with a cell phone.
And you can't do it you can't shoot a bird, for instance, that has a little bit of distance to it. You know,
Yeah,
you want a lens that is somewhat long to shoot that bird.
yeah.
well, on my camera, I do have, like I told you, on the iPhone, I do have a setting. It's called slow-mo,
Right.
and it
Slow-mo.
slows down the water.
Oh,
But you probably need a tripod for it.
Well, I think I took some pictures with it.
How did it work?
I'd have to go back and look. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't, not ones that I just used that because that's what I had on the day, but
I tend to use my Zoom a lot when I'm out, even on past trips.
Hmm.
So, and you really can't do that with your iPhone. In other
Well, you-
words, if I were here, I may have wanted to get a closer shot of the glacier.
mhm.
Obviously, you can't walk up to it.
That's true. That is
So
true.
I would be using, I would use my Zoom, and that I would miss.
Well, I mean, we do have Zoom capability on the cell phone.
The only problem is it's
You
digital.
lose detail,
Once you-
yeah.
Once
Lose
you
a
go
lot
in
of
Zoom,
detail.
it
and-
becomes.
So it's yeah, you're right. So it's really no different than cropping.
Right. Yes.
well, I can go all the way up to 16 on my, and it's not by, doing that. There's a dial and it automatically zooms
Oh.
closer. On the
You know, Ed,
13,
you've
have
got
that
great detail here,
on the
really,
13, yeah.
considering that this is the
Yeah,
phone.
considering.
And
that
with the
it's an
rocks, yeah.
iPhone. Now,
I
Cindy,
wanna
which
make a
iPhone do
case-
you have?
The 13.
I have the 13 too. So if I want to zoom,
Yeah, you look at your camera and right, if you see 0.5 1 times 3
yeah,
times.
yeah, right,
And
right.
there's a wheel, if you put your finger on, there's a wheel and it opens it up and then it goes in
All
and
right,
zooms.
I just opened
Oh,
mine. It
well,
goes
yeah,
up to
but-
15.
It goes up to 5x.
Is that,
I have 15.
yeah, I think mine says 16.
Well, how did, not mine,
5X, yeah, 5,
mine goes
15.
to
Right.
5.
15X,
If you take your phone
yeah.
and just expand it,
No, not your fingers on the frame. You put your finger,
Mine only goes 5x. I
No,
don't
mine-
see 16. I have the same phone you have.
yeah, well then, no, it's there. If you, there's a wheel and it says 5X.
Yeah.
Wheel, and it goes 5x.
Where's, you can't see my phone.
Below,
No,
they
where-
don't-
My phone.
where
you
is
can't
the
see it.
wheel?
Right,
The
if you're in
window,
photo
right?
mode,
yeah.
if just in regular, it says 0.51 and 12.
Right.
And then if you put your finger on there, it opens up like a little black,
Oh, okay, I
A
got it.
little black wheel. And
yeah,
I don't
And
know how you go.
and it goes up to
Are you in
15X.
Photos?
Yes,
It goes up to 15, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Well,
It does.
mine doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Ed, while they're talking about their iPhones, if you look, I have a case for I would not take out that photographer. Look in the center of the brown mountain, whatever that is, there's a little tree sort of bent way out of shape, and it is pointing directly toward that photographer with his selfie stick.
I don't see that tree.
I don't see that tree.
Right, you just look at the center of the photo.
But no, but I don't think that's the purpose of the photo. I think if you
Well-
wanted to get the person, he would have done more of the person. I think
Not
it's right.
necessarily, not necessarily at all.
Oh.
Well, I don't know, but that is there and I can't help noticing.
I don't see
They're
a
right
tree.
in line.
Where's the tree?
I mean, there are no trees.
Oh, I see,
That-
like in the
you-
back,
It's
all the
a
way in the
it's not a
background.
tree, It's, I would say a twig, but I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's
but
much
it's so far away, Bobby. No,
I
and that
know, but
doesn't,
I still
yeah.
see it and it's right in line with the
uh,
same angle as that photographer, the selfie
Oh.
stick. Do you see it, Ed?
I see what you're talking about, but I don't know what it is. It's definitely not a tree. There are no trees.
It is a tree.
It's more like a trail.
Oh, maybe you're right. I guess you're right. It is a trail. 'cause they
Yeah.
don't have- But that's what it just, you're right. Okay. I don't know. I think it adds charm to the picture, but that's
Yeah.
just. me.
So anyhow, the on the Android phones, on the Galaxy phones, so they have multiple lenses. So when you do a zoom, you're not totally doing a digital zoom. When you get above a certain point, it switches lenses. And I think it's the same thing is true on the iPhones.
right, right. It goes
Right.
to the wide, it goes to the wide angle.
Right.
with it, yeah, when you're coming, right.
Well, I don't know. I need lessons on my phone. Mine only says 5 hours.
Okay, gang.
We need lessons for everything. Well,
Yeah,
that's good. We're still learning.
Okay, Diane,
Wow.
oh, this one's stupid.
This was
Did you
another
enter
trip.
this one?
This was the tick trip.
Oh, yeah, that
the
famous
tick
picture.
The tick
Where
trip.
Sam, where
oh,
Sandy and I got infested with ticks.
Yes,
Yeah, actually, I think I have a picture of this. Yeah, I do. Not the whole thing, but I have the picture of the part of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great, great shot. I love
Yeah,
it. The
it was in-
disarray,
yeah.
the.
Mhm.
Where
Very
was that?
memorable trip.
Yes, it was very memorable.
Where was that?
Off of Applegarth, by
Yeah,
the
the
by the
ruins
Gulf
are-
Range,
Yeah.
On the what?
but across the street from the Gulf Range,
Oh, okay.
there's an old abandoned built
I'm
two
getting
buildings
itchy
up there.
thinking about it.
Right?
And we ended up
Seeing that tick on my shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Ended up with ticks.
Yeah,
I love this. It's perfect geometric shapes, the circles, the squares, rectangle, and then there's that one outlier, that little guy who's hanging there on a funny angle. And the tones are all I think that makes the picture.
Sorry,
Great seeing.
I can't hear you.
I said, I love the circles, the rectangle of the General Electric box, the
Yeah.
cables, everything is vertical and everything, it's sort of vertical. And then suddenly there's that one that's hanging at a cockeyed angle and that,
On the wire.
yeah.
that's ironic. That's the cable box, the newest one.
But I think it's there's a whole lot that's really soft, unless it's my eye
Yeah.
or the computer.
Mm.
Which,
Yeah, but it's true, but it somehow it's a
The-
composition.
the composition is great. But, I
You can
think.
still read the word General Electric. Can't be that
Yeah,
soft.
no, well, I mean, you're right, you're absolutely right. The composition is perfect. I think she was focusing, or the camera was focusing, because you have to take it all into consideration, even if you're just printing it for your house. You were focusing on the thing that's hanging down, that's tack sharp.
Right.
The rest of it is,
Is a
Just-
blur, is blur, a little
Well,
blurred.
You
yeah,
know, first of all, Photoshop can sharpen that up for you, no question.
if she had Photoshop.
Well,
Well,
We're getting
Well,
there.
again, on the iPad, you can get Photoshop. It's not as easy to use as it is on the, now I'm wondering if you need to be, I don't, it's not on the cloud, and I don't remember paying that much money. It's like I'll look it up. I don't remember.
but it doesn't
it out.
matter, since this was a still shot, nothing here was going away. If you checked, your camera before you walked away, you would have seen, I mean, just, for future, you would have seen that those, it wasn't tack sharp.
Mhm,
Shot it again.
right.
Harvey, what do you think? How important is the sharpness in this picture?
I love this photo. I think that
We're in
I
agreement.
like
You do?
the graphic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I love.
So-
Yes.
I agree. The graphics are great. I still,
Without,
I
without
would
saying,
make this also black and white just to see what it looks like, because I think even in black and white, it'll look great. You should try it. That
All
should
right, I'll
be,
try it.
I agree with
Yeah.
Javi. One of my comments is actually, I look at it as an abandoned building because
It
they've
is.
obviously pulled a meter out of
It
it.
was,
it was an abandoned building,
it
right?
was.
Yeah.
But it's like a composition, like you actually, that you didn't find this, but that you actually arranged. You know, any modern painter might paint something like this. I just find it very, very appealing.
Thank you.
And I
That's
like the
what caught-
color
that's what
palette,
caught my
too.
eye, because you had the rectangle, you have the circles, you had then
Yes,
the wires, you know,
Yeah.
with the box hanging, that's what caught my
Mhm.
eye.
yeah, and you composed it perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
sometimes, Diane, you don't know why it attracts you, but you shoot it anyway, and then you can study it later
And then
on.
study it later, as long as you have it in your
That
camera.
is because you have a good eye.
Thank you.
You just instinctively know, hey, let me shoot this. This is great.
Thank you.
And my apologies, you only can get the Photoshop for the iPad if you have the, you know, you have the program, the Adobe Photoshop.
Right.
So you can't get it
Alright.
as standalone.
No,
Okay, gang. That's it.
that's it.
That's
Okay.
it?
That's it.
Really?
Wow.
I gotta ask one question. Did you show them the bird, the blue
Oh,
bird?
that's right, the bird. The pink bird.
What pink bird?
Oh, there's a
bird.
pink bird, yeah.
Uh,
On the,
I
You
saw,
had six. I could only take 5. Hold on.
oh, okay, then you
you know,
might not have,
I did see it for a
I
second.
don't,
I don't know why.
Hold on.
Oh, that was a beautiful picture.
Somewhere in there, you passed it.
I passed it.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no,
No,
okay,
he
well,
didn't pass it yet.
another time,
No.
another time.
That
When
was the
Jack-
ice cream.
when you,
Oh,
There
I
it
did.
is.
There it is.
Oh,
That one there
Wow.
caught my eye too.
That
I-
bird is gorgeous.
what kind of
And
bird?
and the composition
I
is
have no
perfect.
idea what type of bird it is.
where were you?
It's a small bird.
No, where were you?
yeah, This was in Africa also.
Oh,
Ah,
an African sparrow.
Yeah,
Pretty, what a
the-
pretty
the
little
detail,
fellow it
even-
is.
even down to his claws holding onto the branch.
this could be a bee eater, seriously. When I was
You
in
can even see the
Africa,
nails. You could see the bird's nails. That's such a
Yes.
great shot.
there's a bunch of birds that look like this. They're called bee eaters, but they're different kinds. This is probably a bee eater, Jack.
I think you're right, Javi.
He
Mm.
looks
not
so
sure.
innocent.
You know, I
Does he
think-
actually eat bees?
That's
Yeah,
not good. It's killing the bees without it. Ooh.
but
Well,
they gotta eat.
but
some-
Mother Nature put him there, and
but,
he's
yeah,
part of the
but
balance of nature.
Maybe he'll like lanternflies instead of bees. Maybe
His coloring was great. And
Oh,
it was, once again, catch the moment,
This appears
I
to
don't know,
be,
Jack, you're a wonderful moment catcher. That's all I could say.
This
You're always
appears-
in the right place and you see the right thing.
What were you gonna say? Ed?
I
this
thought-
this appears to be a lilac breasted roller.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a
Look it
bee.
up.
The bee eater has a longer beak, a longer
Yeah.
pointier beak.
So Ed, what is this, a lilac breasted?
Lilac breasted roller is what Google says.
How do you spell roller?
ROLLER.
Oh, yeah, roller. Wow.
No,
Are you able to find that with Google?
you take a. you show
Google
a
using
picture.
Google Lens.
Don't you have a
It
program?
does an
for
image
that?
search.
You shot
Yeah.
the screen?
Yep.
Wow.
The screen.
See, you can look up
All right.
anything. Jack, I'm just curious, did you shoot, is this out of camera or did you crop
This was
this?
a camera. This was a camera. It was a Nikon.
But you
That
didn't
one,
crop.
that one was the newer Nikon I have.
You
So
think
this
you
is
coulda-
not cropped. This is just as you saw it.
Just as I saw it, yeah.
You
yeah.
think you could have got this shot with a cell phone, Jack?
Oh, hell yes. A lot easier.
Oh, really?
Did you have to zoom in on this, you know?
I don't know if you get the detail.
Yeah.
but
Unless the bird was close to you. Did you zoom in at all on this?
Yes, I did.
All right.
And he wasn't that close to me, really.
Yeah, then the iPhone would have been.
And the iPhone wouldn't have worked.
That's good.
No. Oh, I love this picture.
You know, I'll tell you, I get thousands of pictures and Bobby knows, I tried to, well, I don't know, just some of the pastoral scenes with reflection. Claude has one with the barn that I thought was a great shot of reflection. I have one with a grist mill that, you know, that's a barn and the grist mill next to it. But, you know, we all take pictures. We see things that interest us. I know Howie and I walked alongside each other, and I think I took some pictures of the turtles. You did too, Javi. I
Yeah,
think you submitted them.
Oh, you
Right.
mean up at Lambertville,
yeah, that's right.
on the bridge,
Right.
from the top
Yeah.
of the bridge?
Yeah,
Yes.
we didn't do that walk, Bobby.
Yeah, we did. You were there, Sandy. You
By
were
the
on
bridge for the
with us.
bridge. I went to Lambertville, but we stayed in town. They went
We
down.
went
the-
on
Oh,
the
yeah, oh, yeah.
bridge. You were on the bridge. I remember
I was-
seeing
Oh,
you
right,
there.
the bridge. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. And the
if you
turtles
look
down below.
to
I
the
remember. Yeah.
River, the turtles were all spread out there. They
Yeah.
had like
Oh,
a little
yeah.
beach set up for
There's-
themselves.
There were a line of them on that,
Yeah.
I guess the piling.
Yeah, it was hard to get a good angle on them though. It was shooting straight down.
Well, anyway, I just thought you'd like that bird, and
Yeah.
I apologize for bothering you about it.
When did you go to Africa?
God, that's gonna be about 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh.
And to be quite honest with you, I wanted to take the kids, and then we got hit with the pandemic. I
Well,
thought my grandchildren should see it, you know? See, well, the Kruger National and the safari up in Botswana and all that. But it wasn't to be.
Mm.
Yeah,
Maybe, I
man
don't know. that-
plans and God laughs, right?
What there?
Man plans and God laughs.
Yeah. Well, you know, the problem is, well, timing is everything in life, you know? So
Yeah.
thank you again for showing these pictures.
Oh, this was
Oh,
great. Thank
for
you.
sending them
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm going to try taking some with my cell phone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we're all
And I'm
gonna
gonna try
try.
to take some with my camera.
Well, hats
Mhm.
off to all of you in group one. Please continue to show your work and join us more. We just, you do wonderful work. Let's see more of it.
Yeah.